The name of the representative of the mayor is Mr. Ace. That's the way I know him. But his real name is Andile Mufunda, and he's a school principal. So he's an educationist. And in South Africa, we realize, and you heard that on Tuesday night when the Vice Chancellor spoke, that we will only really be free. And those were the words of Governor Mbeki, who was one of the 7 or 8 Rivonia trialists with Nelson Mandela that spent almost 27 years on Robben Island. And we have a mathematics development unit that is named after him. So we've got all the right credentials. Now, Nelson Mandela himself said that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Governor Mbeki, he died a few years ago at the age of 91, said on his 90th birthday, I was there, he said to the young people, you will never be free until you can do mathematics and science. So you are here at the hub of what we'd like to refer to as the African Renaissance. You know what happened in the European Renaissance. Before I introduce the mayor's representative, I want to tell you a story about the guy that the chairman of a company got some tickets to go to a performance of the local symphonic orchestra, and the main piece to be played was Schubert's Unfinished Symphony. Now, the other day, the VC told us that music, the two international languages, the two were mathematics and music. Now, I then scratched back into my portfolio, and I got this story about the company chairman who gave a ticket to one of his workers who happened to be in the human resources department. But it could just as well have been the principal of a school sending his mathematics teacher to do the job. So the memorandum that the guy produced the next morning when the chairman asked him, how was the concert last night? He actually produced a document that obviously took him a few hours in the evening to type out. And the points were the following. He said, A, for considerable periods, the 4 oboe players had nothing to do. The number should be reduced and their work spread over the whole orchestra, thus eliminating peaks of inactivity. The second observation he made was, he said, all 12 violins played identical notes. This seems unnecessary duplication, and the staff of this section should be drastically cut. If a large volume of sound is really required, this could be obtained through an electronic amplifier. So maybe you realize that math and music are not that universally joined. The C part was, he said, much effort was absorbed in the playing of demi-semi-quavers. This seems an excessive refinement, and it is recommended that all notes should be rounded up to the nearest semi-quiver. If this were done, it should be possible to use trainees and low-grade operators. And the last point he made, he said, no useful purpose is served by repeating with the horns the passage that has already been handled by the strings. If all such redundant passages were eliminated, the concert would be reduced from 2 hours to 20 minutes, and if Schubert had attended to these matters, he would probably have been able to finish his symphony after all. So I'm not too sure that maths and music are so compatible. Anyway, here we are, and we're asking Mr. Andile Mufunda to come and address you. And again, yeah, he will discuss what happened here. Where is Mr. Mufunda? And he is, as I said, the most important thing about him is he's an educationist.